There comes a moment in every healing journey when you realize you don't just need to let go of others. You need to return to yourself. And returning to yourself means rebuilding the trust you once lost. Trust is one of the most fragile things in the world. It takes years to build, moments to break, and sometimes a lifetime to repair. And while we often talk about trusting others, we don't talk enough about the quiet, invisible trust we hold with ourselves. The trust that you will listen to your own needs. The trust that you will protect your boundaries. The trust that you will choose yourself when it matters. The trust that you won't abandon the person in the mirror just to keep someone else close. Today, I want to talk to you about something deeply personal and often painful. Rebuilding trust with yourself after you've broken your own heart. Because yes, we can break our own hearts too. Not by loving the wrong person. Not by giving too much. But by repeatedly leaving ourselves behind. You might have abandoned yourself every time you stayed silent when your heart was screaming for honesty. Every time you said, "It's okay," even though it hurt deep inside. Every time you prioritized someone who never prioritized you. Every time you ignored the signs, your intuition, your boundaries, your truth, just to feel wanted. And eventually, something inside of you whispered, "I don't trust you anymore." It's a quiet kind of heartbreak. A private one. One that nobody sees. But you feel it. You feel it when you doubt your choices. When you no longer believe in your ability to make decisions. When you stay stuck because you're afraid of choosing wrong again. When your own heart feels distant, guarded, cautious, even with you. Rebuilding self-trust is not dramatic. It doesn't happen in one big moment. It's not loud or glamorous. It's not something you can show off to others. It's a slow, gentle process. A commitment whispered in silence. A promise you make not just once, but every day. It begins when you acknowledge this simple truth. I deserve to trust myself again. Not because you've been perfect. Not because you've never made mistakes. But because you are willing to meet yourself with honesty now. Step 1. Tell yourself the truth. Healing always starts with honesty. You can't rebuild trust on top of denial. You can't heal if you keep pretending that everything was fine when it wasn't. Maybe you weren't listening to yourself. Maybe you kept forcing things that were hurting you. Maybe you stayed too long in places where your soul was slowly fading. Admitting this isn't weakness. It's the bravest thing you can do. Because telling yourself the truth is the first sign that you're ready to return home to your heart. Step 2. Keep the small promises. People often think self-trust is built through huge life changes. But that's not true. Self-trust is built through small, consistent promises. I will drink water today. I will rest when I'm tired. I will say no if something doesn't feel right. I will stop when my body says stop. I will not force myself to be strong all the time. Every time you keep a small promise, your heart whispers, maybe I can trust you again. It's the same way you'd rebuild trust with someone else. Gentle consistency. Step 3. Forgive yourself for the moments you abandoned your needs. You didn't know better at the time. You were trying to love others the best way you could. You were trying to survive, belong, be understood. And sometimes, your own heart became the price. But the version of you that made those decisions wasn't your enemy. They were a younger you, scared, hopeful, trying, hurting. They were doing the best they could with the tools they had. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing everything. It means releasing the weight so you can move forward without shame. Step 4. Stop ignoring your intuition. Your intuition is your oldest friend. It's the voice that speaks without words. It's the feeling that reaches you before your mind can explain why. And the truth is, you didn't lose your intuition, you just stopped listening to it. But it hasn't left you. It's still waiting. Softly, patiently, lovingly. Every time you choose to honor what your body feels, what your heart senses, what your energy tells you, you rebuild trust. Step 5. Choose yourself even when nobody understands. Self-trust grows when you stop asking for permission to live your truth. You don't need people to agree with you. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need someone else to reassure you that you're doing the right thing. Choosing yourself is enough. Sometimes choosing yourself means walking away from a relationship that everyone thinks is perfect. Sometimes it means starting over when people expect you to stay the same. Sometimes it means saying no when everyone expects a yes. Self-trust is built when you honor your inner voice more than the outer noise. Step 6. Love yourself the way you wanted others to love you. You trusted people who weren't ready for your heart. But now it's your turn. Your turn to give yourself the tenderness you kept giving away. Your turn to create the safety you kept searching for. Your turn to stay, even when it's hard, even when you feel lost, even when you want to run. Self-trust grows when you stop abandoning yourself at the first sign of discomfort. Healing will not always feel peaceful. Sometimes healing feels like breaking. Sometimes healing feels like grief. Sometimes healing feels like standing in the dark. But the difference now is, you're not leaving yourself anymore. You're staying. You're listening. You're showing up. And that's how trust is rebuilt. A quiet reminder. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to fix everything today. Healing is a gentle reopening. And trust is a slow return. One day, you will wake up and realize, you trust yourself again. You trust your choices. You trust your intuition. You trust your heart. You trust the person you are becoming. Because this time, you didn't abandon yourself. You chose yourself. You protected yourself. You stayed with yourself. And that is the beginning of everything beautiful. If my videos bring you a little peace, please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and leaving a gentle comment. It truly helps this space grow.